Hello everyone! Today we talk about the C major scale and I show you in practice how to play it. C major scale can be played by students applying for the ABRSM initial grade, grade 1 or grade 8. I'll show you in all the possible ways using the minimum speed requested by the ABRSM board. Be also advised that it is included in many other boards and the C major scale should be played and studied by all the piano students because it's a very good thing to practice and to keep in your daily warm up. I'm not just going to play for you the scales, as you will have to play for the exam. I'm going to teach you which ones are all the very important things to know, to discover about the C major scale, and all the important things to do to improve the performance of the scale. Because it's all about understanding which ones are the problems that you face when studying the C major scale, and which ones are the ways to solve these problems. Be also advised that I am going to publish tutorials where you will see me playing and explaining the scales as requested by the ABRSM board grade by grade, so from grade 1 up to grade 8, including the initial grade. In the past I've published anyways a long tutorial talking about the C major and the remaining 4 scales using the one that I like to call either standard fingering or C major fingering. I am not the only one talking about standard fingering or C major fingering, because you should know that the fingering that you learn playing the C major scale can be used also for G, D, A and E. I am adding the link in the description below where you will find this very detailed tutorial where I talk about these 5 scales and how they are strictly connected. Let's dive into the practical part of the lesson to understand what I mean. So as I said, I'm going to firstly play for you the scales as you will have to play for each of the grades. We start from C major right hand at 54 beats per minute as requested by initial grade ABRSM. Firstly, right hand. It was 54 per crochet, 2 quavers per beat. Left hand. Then you have also the one that they call contrary motion scale. Actually it's half, a bit more than half of the scale, where you keep simply the hands as they are, starting from the middle C. Still 54 per crochet, 2 quavers to 1 beat. Now time to play the C major scale, similar motion, so both hands going up and down for the grade 1 ABRSM at 60 beats per minute, so 2 quavers per beat. Contrary motion also at 60. The funny bit is that from grade 1 then you have to wait up to grade 8 to play the C major again, 4 octaves. Now it's played at 88 beats per minute, and these beats now are worth a minim. So it means that 4 notes have to fit in 1 beat. The advice, the lowest you start, the better it is. So I notice that everybody has problems ending in very high regions of the piano. So don't reach the very final octave with the right. Way better that you start here, for example, and in this way you end up here. So start from here, 88. Now we play again at 88 per crotchets, in this way you see a little bit better. that 2 notes have to fit in 1 beat. Now I play it at 88 per quaver. Every single note is going with one of the beats. To mention a very practical, physical fact, when you are bending your on the right side, obviously you have to use the muscles, you have to use the abs muscles to help yourself. Don't be lazy. You have to definitely bend. You have to follow the music. You have to follow the hands. Yeah? Left and right. The complicated side is this one, but use your muscles, okay? We play anyways also contrary motion. We play the contrary motion just at the final speed and the intermediate speed. So 88 per minim and 88 per crotchets, because it's quite easy, this one. Now at 88 per crotchets, 2 notes per beat. As you can understand, the problem of the scales is just one, or we could say 2. Why do I say 1 or 2? It's about the thumb, and it is about thumb passage and crossing over the thumb. So this is the reason of 1, because it is referring to the thumb, and 2, because of the 2 different ways of using the thumb. One's going up for the right or down for the left, when the thumb has to go down underneath. When it's about coming down with the right or going up with the left, it's about going over the thumb. But with which finger then? Or after which finger should we use the thumb? So this is indeed the very first thing that we are going to solve. I'm using the right hand first. So you have to be aware that to play the scales, your hand has to be intended of blocks of 3 fingers and blocks of 4. For many of you probably it's not the first time, but for many of you it is the first time hearing all these. Probably those doing initial grade, applying for initial grade, or studying for grade 1. 3 fingers and 4 fingers. You start the C major scale with 1, 2 and 3. You pass the thumb, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. For initial grade or grade 1 you end here. Then you go down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Crossover, 3, 2, 1. The left hand is doing the same. You start from the other side anyways. You start from the little, then block of 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, then crossover, 3, 2, 1, you go down again, 2, 3, because it's block of 3, now pass the thumb. And that's all. So once you've understood that to play the scales, you have to revise the way you intend your hand. You have to reshape the hand in your head. The hand is made of 3 fingers and 4 fingers, plus the little that is out of the game, and used just when the scale is ending, you are already making a big step. Let's now face how to improve the action of the thumb. To improve the action of the thumb, I have developed some technical exercise. Very simple. 1 that is an introduction, and 3 very powerful ones that can probably be used in substitution of the thousands of different exercises that I've seen in more than 30 years of experience teaching piano. And imagine in about 40 studying piano. What I mean is this. Since the problem is the thumb, either to be passed underneath or to be crossed over, we have to work on the thumb for now. So, we firstly prepare the action. You play up to the third, you think, you stop, and you prepare the thumb. you place then on the following note, in this case F. Or you can do with the other one. If you are going obviously now to grade 8, if you are studying for grade 8, because you have to play 4 octaves. Up to the 4th, you prepare the action, so you stop, prepare the action, and now we move to the real part of the exercise. On the other side would be the same. You do 1, 2, 3, you stop, you think, and you pass the thumb, or you do think and move, again for grade 8. But now, let's go back to the right. The real exercise would be divided in 3 moments. Exercise number 1. You now stop on the 3rd note, you play using the 3rd finger, but pass the thumb quickly. In this way, you see, the thumb is ready here, is waiting here. And you do the same for the 4th. You play with the 4th and you prepare the thumb. Again, this is for the grade 8 students. The first part of this exercise is valid for initial grade and grade 1 as well. Now, we move to the exercise number 2, where you play the note that has to be played by the thumb. But you prepare also the other finger in this way. You see, not only I have played now the note that has to be played by the thumb, but I'm ready with the second in position. Again. So this one is good for initial grade and grade 1. Now for grade 8. Down slowly. And you get ready. It is also obvious that you do it slowly. I'm not expecting you to do it so fast. So going back to the first one. Or even slower. It's fine, whichever is the speed. It's important to understand the principle, yeah? You have to do it at your own pace. So, we have clarified now which one was the exercise number 2, also the second part. You play with the thumb and you get ready. Exercise number 3 will be simply the one of playing now the note that the second finger has to play. In this way. In this way you are empowering the action of the thumb passage and you're reinforcing with the other note as well. So it's finally now embraced by the preparation, by the playing itself, and by the playing the following note as well. So this is indeed, as I said, good for initial and for grade 1. But then, for grade 8, yeah, you can either start from the thumb post or from this one post, and then you do ta-ta-ta-ta, and this is what will make everything strong and powerful. Obviously it's valid also for the other hand. The left hand is following the same identical principle. The preparation on the other side would be, as we said, or for the other one, so when you stop and you move. But the first exercise would be quick action, getting ready with the thumb here. Or for the remaining part, yeah? Exercise number 2 would be when you play it, but you get ready here. The remaining part would be with the second ready here. The exercise number 3 would be playing with the second. Or for the remaining part, and that's all. And now, after this very detailed explanation of the action of the thumb underneath, the one that I call thumb passage, we have to explain and understand how to apply the crossing over the thumb, either with finger number 3 or with finger number 4, on both sides. On the left, or now obviously I'm going to use just one hand because the other one is simply doing the same identical thing I just showed a few seconds. But let's start now, for example, from the right hand, yeah? If we want to really start from the end, let's say from the end of the second octave, if you play 2 octaves, yeah? It looks like you are, for the preparation of the very first action, it seems that you are playing almost the whole scale. Because if I start from the C, I have to prepare now the crossing over the thumb. I would do, you stop, and you prepare. Obviously at the very beginning it is the way it looks like. You will see in the other octave, after doing one more passage, how it will look shorter. Look 1 second. So the preparation indeed is exactly this one. You play up to the thumb, you stop, you prepare. Then the real exercise number 1 would be the one of passing, straight on, immediately. You see? No preparation anymore, but you act immediately. And this is exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 would be the one of playing and reshaping, regaining the position. It will be, you see, I've played with the third, because after the block of 4, 5 is out. 4 is obvious, that is 3, eh? And this is the way it will look like the second exercise. Exercise number 3 indeed will be the one where it seems that you are playing the whole scale, but you will see that doesn't happen anymore straight after. Look. So you can indeed start with a pause. So. And in this way you have reinforced the third. Now let's move to the crossing over the thumb with the fourth. You stay here, you pause, and you simply prepare. And this is the preparation. The very first exercise would be stand anyways on D again, and quickly prepare after you play the C. Exercise number 2 will be the one of playing it. You start with the pause, and voila. Once again, and you've done it. Now, exercise number 3, you play the one straight after to reinforce. And that's all. Now you see that, imagine that when I started from the C, all the way down. Now, since I am already here, the run is way shorter this time. The quantity of notes is definitely smaller. And now, to prepare now the crossing over the thumb with the third, I stand on third. I go up to the thumb, wait and prepare for the preparation. And prepare. The preparation that we have done here, but here it was almost scary because it was with too many notes. For the exercise number 1, you cross over quickly. Exercise number 2, we play it. Regaining the position, the stable position. For the exercise number 3, we play also the second here on the D. And that's all. So you have seen now the crossing over the thumb with the third in this position where you had all these notes, way too many, but here it was way more essential. It is obvious that on the other side is the same identical story. You start maybe with a pause on the C, with a little finger. You do the preparation, pause and prepare. Exercise number 1, quick crossing over the thumb. Exercise number 2, you play now with the third, reshaping. Exercise number 3, you play with the second finger, the B. This way has been finally embraced from all the sides. Same as we did with the other one, you start with a pause on this one, just preparation, pause on this and crossover. Take your own time and understand what has to be done. Exercise number 1, pause. Now quickly crossover, but not play. Exercise number 2, you play it and you gain the position. Exercise number 3, now you play the E with the third. And that's all, there is nothing to be added. I hope it's finally clear what I mean for crossing over the thumb. Now, one more step. Once you've understood how to solve the most important problem of the scales, the thumb action, we have to now understand what can we do now for the hands together from grade 1. So, by playing hands together, you will notice that there are specific points that I like to call matching points, where you have the same identical finger, and those are the points that we are going to develop together. The third note is played by third finger on left and right, is what I call a matching point. Be aware that at this point, when there is a matching point, something is going to happen. You have to pass the thumb on the other side. And this is the very important aspect of understanding and learning this. So the matching points are good for the check along the way when you will study for grade 8 if you're doing it well, and to be aware that there is something happening. You pass the thumb. Obviously for grade 1 you have to simply pass the thumb now, and here you finished. What do you have to do now? We have already used a block of 4. You have to use a block of 3 for 2 reasons. Because obviously it's the following block, but also because the right is telling you, hey, copy me. And you cross over, and you have again 3 and 3. It means that you have 2 matching points for grade 1. Third note, thumb passage, crossing over the thumb using 3. And you end the scale. You go down again, same as it happened going up. After the first matching point, something has to happen. Use block of 3, then you pass the thumb. Now this one, finished, same as it happened going up. You have to go over. You have just used block of 4 here, you must use block of 3. But also the third of the left is telling you, hey, copy me. So again, 3 and 3, thumb passage. Left is over, cross over with 3, you copy the right. Finished. You must now pass the thumb. The right is over, cross over with 3, copying the left. And that's all. Making a step for the grade 8. Now what do? I've just completed the block of 4. Block of 3, block of 4. I must use thumb again. You see? And also in this case, the other hand is telling you, hey, copy me. Now you have to simply be aware that on the left you've used block of 4, block of 3. You must use 4. Here we are. And this is what happened now as soon as you restart. Let's repeat. Thumb. 4. And then it's all the same. This is what I would suggest you to do for your practice, to focus on these very simple, straightforward exercises that are made to really fix in your head everything from a very practical point of view. Pause the video, go back, watch it again, but this is what I would suggest you following my method. I really hope you have appreciated the lesson, that you have understood everything, that you have finally understood which ones are the real problems that you have when studying the C major scale, and all the scales actually. Feel free to comment to let me know what you think, if you already knew about all the things that I have shared with you today. If it's the first time you are landing on my channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have liked, I would appreciate your comment and your thumb up. Don't forget to share with your friends or with people you know that like piano music and would like to develop their piano skills or the general music skills. And stay tuned, because the best is yet to come. See you in the next video. Bye.